This is Talking Sith, your weekly supply of the dark side. Not just the dogmatic narrow view of the Jedi.
Good. Welcome your host, ponderer of plethora of pointless theories, dart of pontification, man of the mitten, Mr. Josh Roach. Born and raised in Queens, New York, $20 for a holla, the maximum paps, scumbag of all villainy, Mr. Michael Pappas.
Hello, everybody. I am Josh Roach.
I am Michael Pappas.
And we are the Talking Sith. Guys.
We are
Woo.
talking mad Sith, son.
Oh, how's it going, Capone? Thanks for the compliment on the intro. Hey, Heather, can anybody, Pappas, your echo is back again somehow.
Oh,
So I don't know what happened. Does Pappas sound like he's got an echo to you guys? Hey, my niece is in the chat. How's it going, Siley?
how about now? Any different?
Not for me, but we'll see. If anybody else thinks that there's an echo. If not, it is what it is.
Hi, Saley.
No echo.
No
Okay, well, it sounds good to them, so it sounds good to the recording, so we're good to go. All right, man. We hit the ground running with this today.
Yeah, that was wild.
Running with the space whales, the Purgle once again. And
Alexa, mute the volume. Sorry.
no problem. Man, that was
Alexa, mute the volume.
that was craziness right off the bat with the hyperspace, like, oh man, I don't even know how to explain it. Like the hyperspace, weird like rainbows shooting through it. Like I said, the only got a witch echo. Does he got an echo? Capone's saying he's got a witch echo now. That's
Do I for real, John?
That's
Am I echoing?
maybe that's what it is. It's because we went into this other galaxy.
Yeah, we went to the kingdom of the Dathmiri from another galaxy, like before the Jedi ever existed, and now I'm cursed, and my whole room is cursed. All right, he says yes,
Slight
So,
echo. What changed
fucking
between
weird.
when we started and like it just started going on again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. That's so weird.
I'm trying to fix this. Hold on.
All right, everybody, is it just Pappas that has the echo, or is it both of us that have
Probably.
the echo? He says just a little distorted, not too bad though.
Yeah, it could just be the server we're using, Video Ninja. It could be something with that.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I just recalibrated my headset settings. They look okay to me. But if it's an ongoing issue, I can log out and come back.
It's just weird. We've never had the problem
Yeah.
before. I don't know. Yeah. So we write about a couple things. Been saying that this other galaxy could be the homeworld of the Night Sisters. All this stuff looks like it's where the Night Sisters came from. Um, I think we called that. I think we're on the right track with that. So why they flee? Why did they flee to begin with, and why are they continuing to want to flee? Is Balin right? What do you think, Pappas?
Dude, I have no idea. I'm still in shock with the production value of this episode after last week's episode that I saw in a theater. Like
Right.
the sound design, the shots, the acting. I mean, this is like top caliber Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm just sad now that, like you said, we didn't see this one in theaters. Like, I want to see all these episodes in theaters because Filoni just keeps throwing it at us left and right. Like, I'm excited for what's next week going to be.
I don't know, man. I think I'm a bit in shock. I'm still kind of taking it all in. I didn't expect them Peridia to be, never mind a system, just like one planet. I didn't expect Night Sisters to be in live action like that.
Right.
Like that threw me for a loop.
Well, it makes
I
sense.
didn't expect, I didn't expect Thrawn's platoons to be so dope looking, and Enoch, his head of his legion, like the whole thing is just so epic.
Yeah, it's, man, talk about cinematic, man. Like, there's a couple of shots in here that were just, let me see here. So we got the coming in, we had the awesome visual of them in hyperspace, a completely new like type of hyperspace, which kind of got hinted at before. And then we got the Purgle graveyard, which was sweet. As soon as you see that reveal that the rings around that planet are a Purgle graveyard, awesome. Then as soon as we get into the planet, right in the view screen, we get the Night Sister statue. And you know what they remind me of too? Those Night Sister statues, they remind me of in KOTOR, the like on Korriban, now known as Morban, like the way they're hunched over, they look just like that. So I'm wondering if they're gonna tie in like the origins of the Sith in canon now to the Night Sisters as well. That'll be.
Can you pull that up? I'm trying to pull up that image. Oh yeah. It looks like they were statues of like like birds, or like almost Egyptian, right?
Yeah, like very Egyptian looking.
Valley of the Dark Lords.
Yeah, the Valley of the Dark Lords. Let me see if I can.
That's a great image here. I'll throw it in chat. I'll actually throw it right in chat.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I got the shot where you see the Night Sister like screaming statue right in their viewport right there as soon as we go in. So that was awesome to see. And yeah, as we just continue to see more, this is craziness. Like, even those, I'm gonna get ahead of myself trying to take it through. So Peridia,
yeah, pace yourself, because you know I have trouble doing that. So
right.
You got to do it for both of us.
One of us has got to be.
Yeah,
we need a governor on
to you. I'll take us off the freaking rails real quick with this one.
Yeah, because there's so much to dig into on this, like, and so the Peridia then is just, that's what they called this, right? They called it Peridia. So
yeah, I thought that was going to be the name of the whole entire galaxy. It's the name of a planet.
Is it like
where
that's what I'm trying to figure out? Is it the name of the planet or the galaxy, or like, because like if you were to come to Michigan, you'd be like, oh yeah, I got into, you might say like I got into Michigan, even though like I live in Kalamazoo. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Are they differentiating?
I mean, Morgan, I felt like, and it was done on purpose. Like when they were looking down at the planet with the graveyard rings,
right?
She said that right there is Peridia
Okay.
in so many words,
So this,
right? I mean, chat. Like, what do you think? Like, I feel like it's the planet's name. Yeah, John says it is.
seems like that's the planet's name. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so awesome looking ruins on the planet. You can tell that the planet just looks like it's washed up. Flying in, it's given me more Mortis vibes, that palace that they fly into. Um, just the whole architecture of it looks like some of the stuff from Mortis.
Pull up some Mortis artwork.
Let me see.
Jamie, pull that up real quick. Jamie, pull up that video.
That's what we need. We need a Jamie.
Me, Jamie. Yes. For now, until we can get Heather to be Jamie, you're just gonna have to be Jamie.
Let's see. So Mortis architecture. Star Wars.
Just type in Mortis Temple. There it is. Mortis Monastery in is it Wikipedia? Or I mean Star Wars fandom.
There we go. File. Open. New window.
Oh, you gotta download this stuff.
Yeah, especially now that I'm looking at it right here, it definitely is giving me Mortis vibes. Throw it over here.
Yeah, it doesn't let me put images in chat, but I can put links.
All right, there it is right there. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean it's like the same thing.
Yeah, doesn't it look like the same thing? Even like with the landing there. Oh man. So I'm thinking what if this is like, all right, so when I was watching Mortis the other day, or the Mortis arc the other day, like when Obi-Wan lands, like he literally says, I can't even tell if we're in our own galaxy. So
yeah,
and with what Balin's laying down, he's feeling a power, he's feeling something else calling to him.
Do remember in the Aftermath books?
Yep.
Was it the Aftermath books or was it Project Cinder? Was it Project Cinder? Operation Cinder. Palpatine felt a
something.
A dark side, or just the Force in general. And it was a pull from outside the galaxy. But I think for whatever reason, the closest Palpatine got was Exegol, probably because he died. Like if Palps didn't die, he would have wound up where Thrawn found himself, right?
Yeah.
And so the closest a dead Palpatine got was Exegol, which is in the unknown regions of the Star Wars galaxy that we know of.
Yeah, like look at that. Can you see what I'm sharing on the live stream?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just look at
there's architectural differences, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, John's saying Ahsoka would definitely know if it's like Mortis related once she gets there.
Yeah, so that's that's an interesting part. Like I heard somebody saying the other day that they didn't think Ahsoka or anybody had memory of that. And now I totally disagree. So does anybody in the chat remember seeing or hearing that from anywhere? I know that in Legends they talked about in some of the later Legends books they talked about Obi-Wan, and even in Rebels they talk about Obi-Wan, or a Jedi that had said they'd visited there in some like weird trance state or something, and had there was reports of these ones, but and I've heard a lot of kickback the last couple of weeks with all this, that people saying like, oh, Mortis is it's not actually a thing, it's just a shared vision, they're not real, they're just archetypes. But how in the world are you, like, everybody has the shared vision over thousands of years and it's in ancient drawings and stuff on temples.
No, I think there's too many associations with things that are in the physical realm. I also think that the speech the father gives to Anakin Skywalker is not just going to be an archetype dream, um, lucid shared dream between the three of them. I don't think so at all. I think
Yeah.
there's a purpose behind all that,
Yeah, Josh
a deeper
Nelson
purpose.
saying hashtag Frumpy Thrawn. Yeah. Uh he's definitely not like in the super fit, taking on battle, IG droids or whatever he was practicing with on the Chimera and Rebels. Um but you gotta figure it's been 10 years. He's been, stranded here. Like we were just talking about, you can tell just by the looks of all these stormtroopers, by the looks of even his outfit. His uniform is not up to Imperial or Chiss standards, I'm sure. Um, yeah, like look at those
I mean, they all look
stormtroopers,
like
man.
shit.
Yeah,
They all got like they got like Night Sister like band-aids, like keeping their shit together.
yeah, that's interesting with the red. Yeah, we got a lot of red and gold going on. So it's interesting. We were also talking about the patchwork on the ship. Um, when the
Yeah, so that gold, those gold elements they're using for metals to repair the Chimera, those are from Morgan Elspeth's family, who's a shipping company. They probably had Fort Knox of metals, right? That they use for more prestigious ships and more rich clients.
right
I think she just opened the vault
for
and
the
like,
Chimera.
but here's the thing, right? Like, if Morgan wasn't able to get to that galaxy, how did they get supplies to Thrawn? I mean, the Night Sisters must have similar ability to either mine or um, collaborate all that technology that is used on the Ion and also used to repair the Chimera where the whales fucked it up.
Well, how did they get? I'm thinking like either that's just what the Chimera was made of to begin with, because there's no way they got repairs. She's been trying to get to him, so there's no way he's had repairs. It must have been built by that originally, or so that's like just what we're seeing revealed from where the Purgle grabbed it and yanked it into hyperspace. But can we talk about for a second? Oh man, once again, just the epic, awesome, like view. Like how awesome was that to see the Chimera flying up to that reflex point, the twin reflex.
Can you replay that?
There you go. Can you see that?
Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, there it is. So there's the reflex point, which is a replica of the ruins that are in the other galaxy and our home galaxy, a galaxy far, far away. And there's the Chimera flying up. And then let's see. And then in the next shot, we get a real good. Let's try to take a look and see what we think about all this golden patchwork here.
So Josh is saying they have gold in their artwork.
Yeah, they do, right? So that's in all like the drawings and the circles and everything on those spires at the henge here, the reflex point that they're on. There's gold. The Enoch's mask is gold. You got gold paint on a lot of the guys. Their little orbs that they trap Sabine with are made with gold, and that
was some really cool tech.
That's what we saw. So we saw three mothers in that old abandoned place that Ahsoka was in episode 1. And they had the golden orbs. Remember, she had to like move that thing, and it was lighting up those 3 orbs.
Yes, Sean's saying, how did they get up there? I think they were able to put Sabine down into like I guess a jail cell, but I'd imagine that it's basically a building. I'd imagine that that's a building, maybe with an elevator.
Yeah, that's the very top of that spire thing we were looking at.
Yeah, so the spire, you could probably walk up the spire, or they made an elevator.
Yeah, there's probably an elevator. I mean, they have like automatic doors, so they probably have an elevator of some sort there. But what's awesome to see about this is a complaint that I've heard about people talking about in the Star Wars galaxy, and going back to KOTOR and everything, is they are like, the technology doesn't seem to have changed, even going back like 5,000 years. You can tell all this looks much more primitive, but it's still technological. It just has a totally different look than what our galaxy has, which is awesome on the design team, awesome on Filoni, given this instantly a different feel. Because you can tell, like, when you're here and you're seeing this technology, you can instantly tell it's different. It's different than what we're used to. And that's what George
I
is all
I
about.
got Old Republic vibes. I got Old Republic vibes from just the aesthetic, the architecture, everything. Really, even the way the night troopers,
Yeah.
like the gold on the night troopers, the red silk Night Sister wrappings around their armor, like it just feels very Old Republic to me. All of that shit.
Capone says they have their own sand people. Yeah, those Ronin looking guys. They just shouted Ronin warriors to me.
I mean, God, like, yeah, let's just get more samurai into Star Wars, Filoni. I love it though. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this could, the bandits, Heather's saying, which is who Balin's going to be meeting up with next episode, presumably. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't just assume that Balin wasn't the guy that cut him down. Like, he's holding a laser sword there. Those guys were all hacked up by a laser sword. So where is what's Sean?
They probably had scouts up there like that reported back.
Yeah, possibly. Well,
They probably had one scout up there.
One of the guys ran away, right? She let one go.
Oh yeah, so he probably told them. Like, it wasn't them.
Yeah.
It wasn't them. It was some other chick with like purple streaks in her hair.
I like what Balin said. It's the land of dreams, madness, and children's stories come to life.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. So where's the gold coming from? It must be whatever this planet is rich in, right? It's their natural ore on this planet.
Maybe gold is super common in this galaxy.
Right.
Like gold is like iron.
Or whatever it is, it could be whatever they call it.
Well, it's not Beskar. You know that.
Yeah, ancient past from long, long ago. So we're in a galaxy. We're being told a story in a galaxy a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, and then they're talking about stories from even longer ago, ancient times, ancient people. I love that we're filling in some of this stuff that's always just been, I don't know, just kind of hinted at. It's never been laid out actually in canon. In Legends, it was kind of laid out. Couple different variants in KOTOR and such, and we talked about that, the Rakatan Empire and the Quell or whoever it was that was supposed to have created them. So maybe we're going to dive more into that.
Do you think the Dathmiri's kingdom got wrecked by the Rakatan Empire?
It's possible, right? Or the Grisk or whatever, like,
yeah, or Thrawn's peeps.
So whatever, I think that you hit it on the head though. Whatever they were referring to in the Aftermath books, where it said that, and I think they even talk about it in some of the other Thrawn books, in the new Thrawn novels, that Palpatine sensed a danger somewhere elsewhere, and that's why he was. Go for it.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking of. This was really his first or final order was to get here and then finish taking over, our galaxy. I say our galaxy because we're all from the Star Wars galaxy. But this was probably what Palpatine was looking for, and the closest he got was Exegol, because he was a dead Palpatine,
right?
Or apparition or whatever, spirit. Dark side spirit Palpatine.
Yeah. And then another thing that I thought was interesting, I was trying to find the exact spot, was Morgan, they're talking about making preparations to leave or whatever to do something, and Morgan says something about the catacombs. We're searching the catacombs, but it's going to take 3 cycles for them to be prepared, to be ready. But what are they searching the catacombs for?
Where are the catacombs? On Peridia?
That's what she said something about the catacombs. Yeah.
So who's searching? Who's searching them? The platoons that Thrawn sent out? No, the platoons he sent out, the squads, were to follow Balin and Shin, right? Who were following Sabine.
She's talking about something totally different, though.
So what the hell are they looking for in the catacombs?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find the scene in which they said that. I think it was after Howler. Yeah, so they're talking about in the chat, and I just seen it on here. Whatever that rat beast that she's riding is Howler.
I told you it's not a Loth Wolf. Josh, we watched this live together. Like, I told Josh it's not a Loth Wolf. It's a rat.
It looks
it's
a lot like beast. It's got like the double nostrils, like the Loth Wolf had. I don't know. Amber saying she loved the turtle people. The turtle people were awesome.
I love the turtle people too.
Heather's saying Noti, N-O-T-I.
The Noti. I get. Did Heather have subtitles on? Because like I didn't get that they were called that.
It's a naughty.
Did Ezra say it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't recall him saying it, but I'm gonna have to watch this 5 more times.
we got like 20 new action figures from this episode.
Oh, man.
At least 20 new action figures and Funko Pops and Black Series. Lothrat. This is a Lothrat. I like it, Sean. I love that.
Lothcat.
Yes. So Heather had the subtitles on. So like you said to me to put the subtitles on to figure out what these things are called. So that's how we got Howler and the Noti.
Yep. Which, yeah, I love the Papas and I were talking about. We loved the Noti. We loved that. Just such Return of the Jedi vibes, Ewok vibes from this whole thing. Awesome.
Yeah, like it mirrored, like when Sabine met the first Noti, it mirrored Leia and Wicket on Endor. When Sabine comes to their nomad village, it was very Ewok village to me. There's a little baby. They're making Noti soup, like the Ewoks were cooking food or trying to cook Han Solo, and it's just Filoni doing his poetic Star Wars, making it kind of rhyme and mirror each other again, which is great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's and the sound design with everything on this we were talking about, like even with the language of the Noti, it's awesome to have a language, harkening back to Chewbacca. You never get subtitles or figure out what Chewbacca's saying. With the Ewoks, you never know exactly what they're saying. Even in the prequels and such, they got away from that. Everybody spoke basic for the most part. It was awesome sound design. I love the language. I love the look of the new guys. Once again, you look at them and you can tell they're different. They are of a different galaxy. Like they have buttons. They have bone buttons.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's Alice in Wonderland, like rabbit hole shit. Like the turtle came up, and I thought it was just gonna be like a very primitive, a primitive intelligent life. Yeah, primitive but somewhat intelligent life form. And the thing had a tailored. Like one of them had like a 3-piece tailored suit.
Right.
The other one looked like he was gonna cobble the bottom of your shoes. It was just kind of so creative and bizarre, but I did feel like I was in a different place, right?
Yeah.
Like when you watch the episodes in Mandalorian and they're visiting these exotic worlds that we haven't seen before, I still feel like we're in familiar territory. I didn't feel like we were in such familiar territory with this episode, which I think is what he was going for.
Well, yeah. I mean, George Lucas is always about, everything in Star Wars. It's very visual storytelling. You should be able to look at something and identify how it works. Like you should be able to figure out how it kind of works within a couple of seconds, or it doesn't work. You should be able to, he was huge on silhouettes. You should be able to identify characters and such just by their iconic silhouettes, man. And I mean, I think they're nailing it for this.
Yeah, and when you say silhouettes, you notice how we get the evolution of the Star Wars logo at the beginning of the shows?
Yep.
And now we're getting new silhouettes of helmets and droids that we get in every new series that we get every year.
Yeah. The Night Sisters call the Purgle the Travelers. They ride the Travelers.
Yeah, there's a lot of like lore breakdown from these 35 minutes.
Yeah. I love that Thrawn said after he's informed of Ahsoka coming, he says, after all, death and resurrection are common deceptions among that both played out by the Night Sisters and the Jedi.
Do you think that he somehow was getting information about Vader existed, so Vader was around during Rebels, so he probably knows Anakin Skywalker. The
Yeah.
death of Anakin Skywalker is not a real death. The resurrection of him being Darth Vader, for one, right? Two, he probably knows about Maul, dead, resurrected. He probably knows about who else, Josh?
Well, here's the thing that is gonna have to come up. There is a Thrawn novel that bounces back and forth between Clone Wars time era and Empire time, when Thrawn is in the Empire. And in the Clone Wars, Thrawn came as kind of a scout, an envoy for the Chiss, and actually worked with Anakin.
I remember you telling me this when the book came out.
And then in the book, he's like working with Darth Vader later, in the future timeline.
In the Empire, so it cuts from him with Vader in the Empire to him with Anakin in the Clone Wars as a scout for the Chiss.
Yeah, so
it cuts back and forth.
It cuts back and forth, and he actually figures out that Vader is Anakin. So it's going to be interesting that it'll be nice to see, like, if this could be another flashback moment. Are we going to get flashbacks to Anakin in the Clone Wars again?
Listen, Thrawn is a master of manipulation through the arts that he has become a savant in, right?
Yep.
So he's going to know how to, or he thinks he's going to know how to manipulate Ahsoka once he does his research. Remember what he said in this episode. I want to know who her master is.
Yep.
I want to know like her background. I want to know everything about her, where she's from her little girl on her home world,
yep.
taming the beasts, right, from Tales of the Jedi,
yep.
which probably is going to come into play at some point because none of this is done without further purpose lately, and I love it. But he may try to manipulate Ahsoka through her relationship with Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, he's definitely going to. But I think the problem's going to be she's basically just overcame that. It's going to be interesting. Like, so Thrawn was defeated twice in Rebels, okay? And it's the only 2 times that he's been defeated in canon so far, really. And the only reason he was defeated then is because of his ignorance and his... he did not have a grasp on the Force. He didn't have a grasp on the supernatural. Now... he is working with the supernatural. He's been steeped in it, it looks like, for 10 years. Now we know we've got the answer to who was calling out to Morgan Elsbeth for Thrawn. It was these Night Mothers. So he's got an alliance with these Night Mothers. And so his one weakness that he had that they were able to exploit before is gone.
So hold up. So all 3 of these old ladies are just as strong as Mother Talzin? Like each one of them is like it's like a Jedi Master Knight. It's like sister mother.
I got to go back and look. So like in our galaxy and on Dathomir, there was 1 Night Mother per clan. Okay, so and there were several different clans, I believe. I don't know if they were all referred to as mothers, but I think he was calling them, and a couple of them were calling them mothers, not the mother. So. It makes sense. Like there's 3 statues, there's 3 orbs, there's 3 mothers. So yeah, but
so they could communicate between galaxies through
magic,
through Night Sister. I used to call it Night Sister magic.
It's right
Dathomiri witchcraft, right? Like, don't you think Mother Talzin, like back in the Clone Wars, and the Night Sisters would have been communicating with these 3? that they were on their old homeworld, like off galaxy?
Well, maybe she did. Or maybe she had a reason not to. Maybe there was a beef between the two that, separated. Maybe there's a reason that the travelers that went to our galaxy didn't go back for the Night Sisters back there. But now times are different. There's no more Night Sisters. This is all they got left.
Well, for me, they need to explain why they, like, if they know that the travelers that travel back and forth from this galaxy to the next, why Thrawn just didn't use the whales, right? Or is it a one-way street and the whales are just coming there to die? They're not going back.
I think that's it. They said
Then
the
how
whales come
did
here to die.
then how did the Night Mothers and Sisters, how did the Dathomiri get to Dathomir in the other galaxy, in the Star Wars galaxy?
I think they said that they did ride them, right? Like the first Morgan Elsbeth said that at the beginning. So maybe.
But then if it's a one-way street and they go there to die, then how would they hitch a ride in a whale's mouth?
Maybe they just stopped helping the Night Sisters for whatever reason, or maybe there was a reason they only helped those Night Sisters. Maybe it was kind of like light side-ish Night Sister. I don't know. There's got to be a reason. Because it seems like the Purrgil aren't just, they're not just going to help whoever. Like Ahsoka was able to make a connection with them. Ezra was able to make a connection with them. And this is like light side. Ahsoka the White makes a connection with them. Ezra makes a connection with them. And he kind of went through the same thing Ahsoka went through just in the Rebels arc, where he touched the dark side and then he came out the other side of it more pure. So I think that it has to do with like where your allegiance lies.
Interesting.
Yeah, Capone or Josh Nelson saying you have to commune. They probably lost those connections. They'll lost through lost generations. Yeah. Yeah, they were. Heather's saying they were all dressed like Mother Talzin. They even had that Echo. Remember the Echo we were talking about? The Night Sister Echo a couple episodes ago?
Yeah.
It was a little bit subdued, a little more subdued, I think, in this. But yeah, they definitely had that. Which still is, connected to Mortis for me. Like, that's the only other one that we've seen. And
you've been holding on to this since Mando season 2. I'm with you. I'm riding it with you, man. I remember we were doing episodes back then, and you've got to pull up your schematic again one of these days.
Yeah, I got to find that.
And you've got to edit it and evolve it.
Yeah, there's so much to go through all this. Yeah, we were talking about earlier the gold. All the gold in the architecture that we can see here in this this pristine reflex point. But it harkens back to looking at it and seeing it all spelled out here. It harkens back to the star maps that were in the Jedi Temple, that were in the on Lothal, that connected directly to the World Between Worlds. And we know the World Between Worlds is connected to Mortis from Rebels. We know that it's connected to Lothal. We know this is connected. At least now we know why the map at the end of every episode now is gold, because they got all gold all over this.
Yeah, I think there's more information that we're going to get fed, but we'll still have more questions at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have, 2 more episodes?
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
Wow.
They got a lot to do in 2 episodes.
So Josh's wife said the Night Sisters remind her of the Fates from Hercules. Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. And they even talk about, I wrote that down too, because they talk about the thread of destiny, which is just like them from Hercules.
Listen, that crimson red and the contrast of their red against Peridia's environment, and then the gold and like the color choices used in this, and were just fantastic, man.
Yeah, the whole, oh man. Yeah, we were talking that it's just the scale of this is epic. The scale of, And Thrawn, like Thrawn says, he only wants to send the two squads or whatever because their numbers have dwindled. But man, there's a lot of troopers right there, just in what we saw.
I was gonna say, dude, like when all the troopers were, in formation in the hangar, I was like, he's got a fucking army. How are they feeding all these night troopers for 10 years? So Josh and I were trying to figure out exactly how long they've been out there. I think it's between 9 and 10 years. I think Josh would. Nelson probably has a really good idea on what it is. I said 10. I think Josh said like 9 to 10 years.
It just depends on how much time has passed between.
You got to give or take a year
for Mando and everything that's happening.
Yeah, give or take a year between the Mando stuff. We know from ROTJ to Mando season 1, it's about 5 years, right?
Right.
And then from Thrawn and Ezra's ride on a space whale at the end of Rebels to
4 years
to Battle of Yavin is 4.
Oh well, no, from Ron.
Right?
It's about a year between them riding out in the space whales to. Is it 4 years? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure where exactly Rebels took place.
I think it is, but no, wait.
It's maybe 2 years.
Maybe 2.
Well, how old is Ezra supposed to be? Because he's the same age as Luke. So 15, 16, you think, maybe?
Oh, we got a lot of questions in chat relating to this. Yeah. I think time is moving the same. I had a theory. Well, we had a theory that time may move a bit differently. We'd see an older Ezra or a younger Ezra than Sabine by a year or two. But it seems to me like time is relative to the other galaxy as of right now. But
I don't know. Like we were saying, Thrawn looks pretty rough.
I mean, Ezra's beard is pretty fucking full. But if it's a decade, I mean, I didn't have this much facial hair 10 years ago, so
right.
Not like it's much, but it's something. So Sean's saying about the gold.
The gold.
So I was saying that maybe gold is more
prominent.
What's the word? Like a plethora of gold, like how iron or more of a commoditized mineral or metal would be in the Star Wars galaxy. Can we get a name for the Star Wars galaxy, Josh, so I can stop saying that?
Shore pin.
There we go. I gotta start saying shore pin. You guys are gonna know what I'm talking about if I say shore pin.
The shore pin galaxy.
Yeah, I think we're about 10 years. I think it's close to a decade in Earth years.
Yeah. So, and I think too that like Sean was saying about all the gold, why hasn't it been mined before? Balin says, and Morgan, they're all talking about this is the ruins of a great civilization that left there. So what do ruins leave behind? A lot of stuff.
Treasure and gold.
So maybe it's repurposed. This is all repurposed, and Thrawn is made an alliance with them, and so they are rearming him. They could be, repairing his ship, getting it. As soon as they start making contact with Morgan Elsbeth on the other side, they can be like, okay, well, if we need to start making preparations now to get this ship ready to go, they seem to be much, like, if not more primitive, different at least, so they got to start working on that stuff now.
I think whatever they need in those catacombs is going to help them get that Chimera and the Eye of Sion lined up to go back. Like, I don't think they can go back until they finish another mission that they need to accomplish. That, or else there wouldn't have been another MacGuffin in the catacombs, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that exact those lines where she talks about the catacombs to pull that up. Great, yeah. He calls them great mothers. I salute you. So soon we shall escape the exile thanks to the efforts of Morgan Elsbeth.
So they're all mothers.
Yep.
All 3.
All 3 of them are mothers.
So they're like Jedi Master Knight, like fucking witches.
Yep. This is the council. The council of the
Which
witches.
is crazy because that means they could resurrect lots of dead and zombies. Oh, maybe the night troopers are all freaking green mist.
Ooh.
Maybe the night troopers are all green mist, so you don't have to feed them. And Enoch is legit a zombie. Like that's why he's like commander. He's a
Ooh.
commander because Enoch is like an undead Dathomiri warrior that they made into like the head of the night trooper platoon.
All right, here it is. She says,
Because they can't feed. You got to feed all those troopers. You got like they're probably just fucking green mist in there, like Maroc, right?
Yep. Yeah, so you got 3 Night Mothers. She's like, you got to figure Morgan Elsbeth was able to do this, and she's not a Night Mother. She's like, I don't know. She's trying to do her best to hold on to whatever it was. As far as we know, she's not a Night Mother, right? So, are we going to see an evolution of what Morgan looks like? Or is she going to?
I think Morgan is just from a lineage of very, very rich Dathomiri heritage. I think she's a wannabe Night Sister, but like the Night Mothers used her because they could communicate with her in order to get this done.
Well, she says our people,
she seems like
my
a wannabe.
ancestors, and they're able to call to her. She obviously has the magic somehow.
She's a wannabe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. They said we shall begin to transfer our everything. Morgan says, "I've seen the catacombs. It will take." So that's where she went when she flew off. So this is whatever's going on with these catacombs. That's where she flew off to when she left Balin and them standing there at the reflex point. She says it will take some time, at least 3 rotations. And Thrawn says that it is an acceptable time frame.
So that's 3 days, right? Rotation, yep. sun and night. I mean,
yep.
Night and day.
Yep.
So, do we even know if there's night on this planet, or it just stays like that all the time?
Yeah, I'm sure there's night and day. Like going back to the when we first see the planet, right? It looked like there was some a dark side of it, right? So it's got to be rotating. Can't just be sit still.
Yeah. So Josh says to my theory, like, why would Thrawn worry about numbers if they could just like keep making more like green mist zombie troopers?
I mean, he could worry about actually like losing the body. Like, I don't think you can bring back Maroc now after that happened to him, right?
So every time they resurrect an undead, they may not necessarily be able to bring back the same soul.
Right. So these whoever died are could be the undead potentially, or maybe just Enoch is an undead. It'll be because I don't think that people are saying like, oh yeah, Filoni got us. He just threw in an undead. I don't think he just threw that in for no reason. It's a sprinkle. It's a touch of what's to come probably. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, you could feed. So you're on a Star Destroyer. They have 40,000 people on there. They probably have enough to ration out for X amount of time, and then you have. I wouldn't be surprised if they were hunting the Noti down, and maybe that's why they're so like in their shells and they're nomadic now and they keep moving. Because
maybe that's what Thrawn eats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're eating stuff. They're eating the krill and everything, and they could potentially eat dead space whales.
I think there is an ecosystem there because the bandits need to eat something too.
Exactly.
And so there's probably a water source. There's probably an ecosystem of marine life.
Well, just think if somebody crash landed on Earth, like you could definitely like feed your people. You would, especially if you have a military with that follows orders.
Yeah, the Howler's got to eat too.
Yeah, Capone. Yep, Capone's right there. I was going to say the Noti is the food. Made turtle soup like Cannibal Holocaust, Heather says. Oh, man. All right, so next episode, predictions.
Ahsoka's coming in with Huyang, with Monstro, and she's going to immediately feel a bunch of shit. The Night Mothers are going to report back that Ahsoka's here. Thrawn's going to have a plan. Well, for one, the Chimera is going to try to shoot down the whales and kill them.
Well, he says that right off the bat. As soon as As soon as a whale enters the system, shoot it down with great prejudice, or whatever he says.
So we're probably going to lose some Purgle space whales. Probably going to get they're probably going to make a lot of soap on Peridia. There's going to be a new soap factory, Dove soap. And Ahsoka's going to make it planetside with Hu Yang. They'll probably be on foot. They'll probably get attacked by some Night Sister bullshit and some Night Troopers. I love these Night Troopers, man. Holy crap. And I think Sabine and Ezra are going to face off against Balin and Shin.
Yep.
On the opposite side of the region that the Ahsoka and Thrawn action will be taking place. And then we'll have a very traditional finale, George Lucas style finale, where we're cutting between
Like
two or maybe even
two or
three
things going on,
or maybe even four, depending on what this big powerful source is that Balin senses. We'll see what that is. But I think Shin's gonna fight Sabine. I think Balin's gonna fight Ezra. And I think Ahsoka is gonna have a showdown with the Night Mothers and Grand Admiral Thrawn. I think the Night Mothers and Thrawn are gonna play some mind games on our Ahsoka. Remember, this is Ahsoka's show. Grand Admiral Thrawn, Ezra Bridger, Sabine Wren. This is Ahsoka's show. We saw her final lesson and her final trial be completed by her master, and now we're going to see her tested big time.
So
big time.
I'm going to say he wants all this stuff pulled up. We've seen how Thrawn studies things before, and we even got through the holograms and stuff. He has all the holograms of the art and records and such. He's got access to the Imperial records and everything there. I think he's going to pull up holograms of Anakin and Ahsoka, their training, her trial possibly. We might get a little bit of backstory on that, and because Ahsoka has, she's mentioned in this that she left the Jedi Order, but for those that haven't watched the Clone Wars and are ignorant of that, so I think maybe we get a little bit of exposition through Thrawn studying up on her. And yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's going to be a showdown between Thrawn, Enoch, the Night Mothers, and Ahsoka. I think that what's funny too is that Thrawn was saying, it seemed like he didn't even really care if Shin and Balin got left behind there. He was like, yeah, they're all loose threads, whatever. I don't care. Ezra and Sabine and all four of those Jedi characters, he could care less.
If it was up to him, anybody with a lightsaber would just be vaporized.
But the funny thing is, I don't think Balin has any intention of going back to our galaxy until he attains the power he has there. And then from the sounds of it, he could care less going back, or possibly he believes that he'll be able to go back with that. He says it'll take him back to the beginning.
Well, then we're talking about before the Jedi, before the Sith, before even the Force, the first Force user that I like to talk about, Dawn of the Jedi type stuff.
Yep.
And you bring up World Between Worlds when I bring that up.
Yep.
So, there's connective tissue all around. I think sometimes we reach a little too far into the mystery box and overshoot it, but I think Filoni is kind of thinking along the same lines.
Well, here's the thing.
Some to some capacity, right? Like, we may not be right on everything, but I think we're in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that they'll continue to be kind of vague about it, just like with all the stuff with Anakin. It was vague, and you can kind of take what you will from her lesson and apply whatever you need to apply to it for your own headcanon there. And like we said, he used the World Between Worlds without using a lot of the tropes right now. But so Star Wars, we've been saying this whole time, this is Star Wars firing on all cylinders. This isn't like Andor. We're touching the mystical. We're getting even more of it. And we're diving into stuff that was connected back in its introduction in Clone Wars, I think. And I think that we won't get all of it right now. But if Filoni is building up to a movie, I think it's not only going to build up with a great, battle of armies and like the Imperials being reunited and being one under Thrawn again, so you're going to have great Imperial, like the might of the machine, but you're also going to have a separate thread, a separate storyline going that's going to go deeper and deeper into lore and the fantastical. So I think that it's everything's just being hinted at right now, and I think that the lore and the fantastical, if anything, will take longer and be more drawn out. And
Do you think that there's a possibility that what Balin is searching for is the wills?
oh, that's a good possibility. Like, remember what I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I said it to you. I had this thought the other day. As soon as Hu Yang was like, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
You said to me you think it could be someone in this galaxy we're in now telling the story of everything that's happening
In the
in the Star Wars galaxy,
yeah,
which means you basically have the creators of history, the record keepers of history, and the directors of the future
yep,
that are the wills. And if he finds them, he can not only Balin can not only rewrite history,
yep,
but he can write the future the way that he wants to.
yep. So he's starting
And
over. He went back to ground zero. He's gone back to the foundation. He's gonna rewrite it and remake the Jedi something greater. Yeah, I think that the wills. That's because that's
you
who
hear,
writes it, right? That's what the writing is supposed to be. It's the
let me tell
journal
you
of the
something about
wills.
Dave Filoni. I want to tell all you guys about Dave Filoni. You want to go down the rabbit hole with this show and where we're going to head with Star Wars in the future? Watch Star Wars documentaries with Dave Filoni. Watch interviews with Dave Filoni. It's cryptic, but he's giving us all the answers there.
Oh yeah.
It's all there. And you can even go back to when George is talking about writing the script in 1975 or 1974, 1975, talking about the wills and talking about how it's a story from long ago that's being told
Yep.
by the wills, you know. And I'll be honest, when I saw the Jedi text in on Octu in The Last Jedi, I was like, oh, it's basically like the wills, right? Like Luke kind of found that. But I was wrong. Those are the Jedi texts.
Sacred
aren't
Jedi texts.
They're not as important as he thought they were, I think. But I mean, Rey still got him, right? She got him on the Falcon. But I think there's something there. And I could be completely wrong. I know Josh Nelson loves this theory because he goes down these rabbit holes. But regardless about that, if you watch Dave Filoni's documentaries and interviews and what he talks about, like this is like his type of shit.
Oh yeah. That's what him and George were delving into. You know, they did the Clone Wars together. And then he ran with stuff in Rebels and just intensified it. And there have been more and more there's been more and more a resurgence of the wills in recent books and recent, comics. So I think
it came strong right after the sequel trilogy. I think it went away a little bit. I think it's making its way back.
Well, you got the Guardians of the Wills, which are like in Rogue One, but then even in this just now in the From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi, there's things from the Will's point of view in that book. So, and then it's always been that the script, or a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, was supposed to be the Wills. So it only makes sense that this would be the home of the Wills.
Imagine it's a kid in the attic of his school with a book that screams Atreyu and Falcor, and he's just kind of writing it, and things just start to happen.
Ooh,
anyway, never-ending story. You never seen that movie?
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you have. I know you have.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they're already flying on giant, whales. So, never know. All right, guys. So next.
All right, we're gonna go to sleep. We appreciate all you guys with us.
Yeah, thanks for everybody that joined us today. I'm trying to think. We had John, Capone, Josh Nelson. We had Heather with us. We had
Yeah,
Sean.
we have our night mother. I'm gonna start
Yes.
nicknaming her our night mother.
She is.
You need to get in here and run this chat, Heather.
Yes,
Wait,
Heather.
Josh and I gotta, or you start pinning stuff you want us to talk about, because I can't. It's hard to pop back and forth. I don't know how people do this every day on YouTube
Yeah, man.
or Twitch.
Oh, I just lost. I'll have to look it up, but I think that's what I was going to name the episode, was the Cannibal Turtle Holocaust, or whatever Heather said, her comment.
Yeah, pin that comment. That's one to pin.
All right, guys. So till next
Pin that
time.
one.
Till next time.
Peace.